is Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. Now we could talk about them separately. We could talk about who would you rather have as a best friend, and then also who would you rather have as your quarterback, and uh, and then I guess ultimately talk about where they're going to go. Here's the thing about the Derek Carr versus Aaron Rodgers thing. The only reason this is even a conversation is because Aaron Rodgers is the type of person to, in the middle of quote unquote free agency, to go into like a house in the woods and cut off the electricity for 6 days and not like he's so weird. If he wasn't weird, everyone would be like, we're gonna get Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't matter. But because Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr are polar opposites in every conceivable way, now this is a conversation of who would you rather have. So
I would.
I give you the floor.
I want the dude who will go in the woods, knock out electricity for like 2 weeks, living. He's gonna be hunting. He's hunting and gathering.
He's
He
like,
can kill some animals, get some food. He's gonna come out with another long beard, long hair again, long, long gut probably. um, but no. I'd rather. I mean, Rodgers is like low key like the NFL like Kyrie Irving, right? You kind of like that comparison?
I do. It's just the only difference is that Aaron Rodgers does his job.
Right. The mental aspect is a little weird. He like every offseason there's something with him, and there's always something new, this and that. I just think right now I'd rather have Derek Carr. I think he's a better leader. A lot of teams want him. He's younger and he's a playmaking quarterback. And I think that's who a team like the Jets need or the Saints need. And like Rodgers can bring more problems now than good things to the team that he goes to if he leaves. And I just think I'd rather have Derek Carr with his ability. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is great. He's old now, but who knows what's happening with him?
Right. I mean, we kid about the darkness retreat. Like he is an out there guy, but like all his teammates, all Aaron Rodgers' teammates, have never claimed him to be like some jerk. Like they seem to all like him fairly
Right,
well.
right.
The real like who like why this is a conversation is because you can get Derek Carr, not give up any draft capital. And the thing is with Aaron Rodgers, you don't know if you're trading for 1 year or 4 years. Probably closer to one than four.
Agreed.
But with all that being said, if I'm a team that could win a Super Bowl next year,
Give me an example.
the New York Jets, I think if they had a top five quarterback, they could make a run. Now it's tougher in the AFC, and we don't know if Robert Saleh is a good coach. But I don't know how you don't say to
Want
your.
him?
I just don't know how you don't say like, you know what, give him a first and a second. It's only for this year. If we get him for 1 year and he plays close to that MVP season, we are in the divisional round at the very least.
But what if he leaves and he's god awful?
I don't think he's going to be bad. I think this year, listen, situation matters. It doesn't matter if you're freaking if Patrick Mahomes was on the Chicago Bears, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't care how good you are. Well, he might go to the Super Bowl, but that's a bad example. But you know what I mean. Most quarterbacks. So my point is, I don't think he's going to be bad. I think the Packers last year really there was nobody. Who was he throwing it to? That rookie was good toward the end of the year, but
They
before
were
that,
always banged up.
he wanted to kill
Like
all his
Lazard was
receivers.
banged up.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're a team like my phone is ringing. I just don't know. Like, so if you're the Jets, I get it. Like Aaron Rodgers had an off year, but if it's going to be 1 year, you tell the Packers, we'll give you whatever you want for this year's draft, within reason. I'm not giving you my whole draft. And we'll get him for this year, and we're going to make the divisional round at the very least. And we got all these weapons, and our defense is really good. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if I would do it, but I don't know how they aren't tempted to do it.
Okay, so now you're the Jets, right? You
Yes.
get Rodgers.
Wait, hold on, hold on. Okay, I'm the Jets. Got it.
You're the Jets. You got Aaron Rodgers. He plays for 1 year. He's retiring. What do you do now?
Well, I mean, I don't think you.
You can't look at that. So if you say
No,
close
no,
to
no,
one
no, no.
year,
I think you're right. I don't think you're in a great spot. You're still in the quarterback hunt.
Again, once again.
But here's the
And
thing.
just say they don't win. Just say they don't win. They win up one playoff game, they go to the divisional round, and they lose. Oh, he's like, you know what? I'm done. I played long enough.
I see your
That's
point.
what. That's the only holdback was like teams are like, is it worth it? Like we would have to win the Super Bowl to be like, all right, if you retire, now it's worth it because we won. Fuck it.
I see your point, and I feel like the Rams were in that exact situation where it's like they went all in for Stafford and they won the Super
And it
Bowl.
worked out. And it
Right.
worked out.
So, and especially for a team like the Jets, the Rams are different because the Rams have been to the Super Bowl with Goff and they're always in the playoffs. A team like the Jets who are desperate, trust me.
They're
Where
always
am I?
desperate.
I know the feeling to get into the playoffs and be competitive. I'm not saying I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what I would do. To answer the question, I'm not answering the question. But I'm just saying if I was the Jets, I don't know how I wouldn't be tempted to just take a chance and
So
we win the Super Bowl and then it doesn't
you
matter.
heard Zach Wilson, right? Or no?
Well, yeah, he's still on the roster.
So you'd be like a first, second, and Zach Wilson.
No, I think they're gonna roll with Jordan Love, so they wouldn't even touch Zach Wilson. And that's another thing that we could like. Maybe Zach Wilson takes a year off. He learns under Aaron Rodgers, and he learns under one of the best quarterbacks of all time who has a similar play style.
Agreed.
A guy who probably once acted similarly to Zach Wilson before he realized maybe I should grow up and listen to Brett Favre. And maybe when Aaron Rodgers leaves in a year or two, then Zach Wilson can snap back into reality and be the guy. It's not the worst
That's a
plan.
very right. It's a good
Or
possibility.
or they signed Derek Carr, and they still have all their draft picks, and they have them for the next 4-ish years. Dude, does that guarantee you a playoff spot?
With Carr,
Yeah.
I would say within the next 3 years, yes. Maybe not the first years on the team because you don't know. It could be a lot of injuries. Oh, he has to learn to play. You never know. Maybe the
Right.
year after they make the playoffs. Within the first 3 years, I think they make the playoffs and possibly even win a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, they went. What did they go like 7-10 this year, or something
And they
close
were
to
like
that?
what 6-3,
Yeah, with Zach Wilson and Mike White playing, and Joe
right?
Flacco playing like meaningful minutes. And listen, Derek, I love him, and he's a good quarterback. And, he probably has hit his ceiling, but his ceiling is playoff worthy. I don't know why I'm going with that, but he is a quarterback that can get you into the playoffs, and if he gets hot, he gets hot. I just don't know that in this new power shift of the AFC, where it seems like every good young quarterback is in the AFC,
Because that's true.
it's really hard. It's
I
gonna
think
it's gonna be hard.
I think for the Jets, you go with Carr. I think it's overall better for them. Long term, short term, you still could win games, still could win playoff games. He's there for the long haul, and he will still be a good mentor for Zach Wilson if he's still on the roster in 2 years. I think that's still going to help him grow, get better, learn a lot from Derek Carr and Rodgers. So the benefit of Carr is you're there for 4 years. You could win a playoff game, could win a Super Bowl, who knows? And you have him for longer, and that's just more of a certainty with the team and more beneficial for them because if he's one and done, Rodgers, then you're back from scratch. Oh, now we're back with Zach Wilson. That's not good.
Right, and then another thing you just made me think of. I don't know how you did, but you did, so I'll give you credit for it. We think Robert Saleh is a good coach. We've seen improvement, especially with the defense. But this could also be a way for the GM to be like, okay, you think that you're a quarterback away. I'm going to give you a quarterback that has won a lot of games in this league, and let's see if it improves. And if it
Right.
doesn't improve,
You're out.
then it's easy to just blame Carr again, I guess.
Yeah.
Or we need to look for a new coach and just really just start this thing
Correct.
over, because you don't want to just bleed out. If you're not good, you want to find out fast that you need a different coach. And Derek Carr is pretty good at playing with different coaches. So that's all he's done his whole career. Yeah, so I think ultimately I agree with you. I think I'd rather go with Carr if I'm the Jets. Would I? Yeah, I think I'd rather go with Carr. But Rodgers is it's tempting.
Of course it is. I mean, like you said, any team should be like, oh my god, we should get Rodgers. But
And maybe there's a better
like,
fit for Rodgers out there. Maybe I don't
does
know.
Rodgers want to go to the AFC?
Probably I don't know. I don't think he cares. I think he thinks I could beat anyone, which is he should
Which
think
is
that way.
true.
Maybe
But
Rodgers. I don't know. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
NFC's hurting with like all Super Pro Bowl quarterbacks, really good team. Like AFC is like realistically, the AFC is like 6 teams, and then there's one team like the Jets fighting for that seventh wild card spot. Like
Right.
if there wasn't an extra playoff spot, I'd be like, nah, I don't think the Jets are gonna make it. But with the extra spot, it changes like a lot.
Right. Yeah. Rodgers is like besides maybe Jalen Hurts, Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah,
And the second he leaves, that's the Eagles' conference for the next 15 years.
correct. Unless they don't pay him.